Sold another hoop art this weekend, so I dressed it up just a little bit. Now I need to find a bubble mailer. I'm sort of running out of like shipping materials because I keep like using them for transporting my stuff. I think I must have one kicking around. My favorite thing about working at the flea market, once I feel settled, because having the commissions, like I had the commission ordered, and so for the whole day I felt secure because otherwise I wasn't selling anything. I think that weekend I sold $7 worth of stuff, and it's $24 per table, so I was at a loss. But then as soon as a commission comes in, I feel like I don't really have to work that hard there. So I'm like, oh, whatever, I made $7, who cares, I got a commission. And so the same thing happened yesterday. I can't believe that was just yesterday. Oh yeah, I had the second half of that paid, and he gave me a huge tip, which he didn't have to do, and it was really nice and whatever. But so that paid for my table, and that was nice. And then I had another person pick up her commission, and then I decided to spend that time like starting the third commission, because I told him I'd get back to him on Monday, and I don't really know what to get back to him with. Anyway, my favorite part about the flea market is that when I work on stuff, I'm like completely and utterly undistracted, and I literally just sit there for 8 whole hours working in that sketchbook. And I did this sketch in the morning. I was planning to get a head start so I could do a lot of it today. This is the sketch that I came up with for the dog. He's a corgi. Honestly, I decided just to do the sketch there and then put it away, because the last few times I did sketches and then I just didn't. I just kept working, and then I had to go back and fix stuff, which is a lot harder than just starting with a proper approved sketch. And I'm looking at this now after 24 hours of rest, and there's nothing about it yet that looks off to me. And I was really skeptical too, because his eyes come down at an angle like that, and I spent a lot of time doing the paintbrush trick to like try to make sure the angles match exactly, and this is pretty close, or at least as close as I got. And so far, so good. New print media is in. Got these cards for writing notes and packages and stuff, because I ran out a long time ago and I thought I could make do, but I was wrong. So of course I got the most recent stuff I was working on for that, and I can't remember what the business cards look like. Oh, I got hedgehogs. Smart. That's the back. It makes sense. Okay. Cool. A couple of things. First of all, I was accepted into a Kickstarter book. It's like really exciting though, because I don't have a whole lot of publication credits, so I was really excited to do it. But also it's like a paid commission too, so I'm actually going to, I've never actually had a publication in which I was actually paid for the work. Like I've done like a couple of like small magazine submissions, and like one of them was online and one of them was on paper, but the payment was just like a free copy of the magazine, which is cool. Like I would have done it anyway, because it wasn't art that was made specifically for the magazine. It wasn't like an exclusive art or anything, so it was really just something that I went for. Didn't require a fee or anything. Some places require huge fees, which is whatever, but trying to focus and talk at the same time, it's hard. Maybe I shouldn't do it. I think the theme was home. My problem is that I was unable to find the original place where I submitted my application to, so it had a lot of description about what the project was about, and I think it was about like a home theme, and a lot of it was interior stuff, and they were taking exterior stuff too. So I was thinking of doing that, and because it sort of fits in with what I was doing with Living Spaces series, So I could do the painting, and then afterward it could just show as part of my already existing series. So it was kind of like, I thought it was a good match, even though I don't have the same kind of pop culture cartoon style that a lot of people are doing. Like, the anime is still really big right now. But yeah, that's happening, and it has such a really long production time that like I don't even need a line drawing for like another month, and I don't know how I'm going to follow these long production times, because I'm so much faster than that it's gonna be hard. I might just, I guess I'll have to wait. I have no choice but to wait, because they might want to critique my plan or something, so I guess I should not just dive into it. As I'm learning with commissions, just diving into things is kind of, it hurts me later. But at the same time, like, it's hard to balance, because some people might get freaked out by seeing things in progress, not knowing where they're going, and not understanding how it's going, and it's hard to know exactly what to do all the time. The other thing we did this weekend, we went to the East Side Culture Crawl, sort of. What that is there are a lot of artist studios in Vancouver, and it's in a very old part of the city, and they had just opened the doors, and so people just do tours around, and it was raining like crazy that day, and I had such a good week, but with like all of this anxiety about getting the commissions right, and then having that anxiety leading into the artist reception in Coquitlam. And artist receptions are really hard for me because I don't have anyone to invite to them, so I'm always just kind of there, and there's like a lot of people, and they're all just there to support the person that's showing. So one artist will invite their family, and another artist will invite their family, and so they're all just kind of together, and they're all talking in their own cliques. I like looking at the art, but I also feel obligated as an artist to be available, and so I try to stay there for like at least an hour, but it's so hard to like just sit there and not know what to do with myself, and it makes me feel really bad about myself for not having anybody there. Not just that, but also just because it's my job to talk about my art to people who are looking at it, I guess, and so I don't know how to do that. Like, when I'm looking at art in a gallery, I don't like being approached by people. When I'm shopping in stores, don't really like being approached by people. I think that's a really common thing. I also feel kind of inadequate as an artist because I'm not helping the show as much as other artists are by bringing everyone they know, whereas I'm not bringing anyone, and that's literally my job. And then so I sit there and like worry that maybe they won't accept me to other shows in the future because they know that now, and so it's like, well. So with that in mind, that happened Friday night, and then Saturday morning I was still so wound up from all of that culminating into that moment. I was unable to go into any art studios at the Eastside Culture Crawl. We went into one really old building, which was fascinating, but it was just a lot of stairs, a lot of very narrow hallways, tight little rooms. Like, the studios are like closets. They're windowless closets, and artists were in them with their art, waiting for people to walk in so that they can like ambush them and talk to them about the art. And it felt so uncomfortable for me because I'm the kind of person who can't even go into pretty much any store that is empty, and therefore makes my presence more obvious. And so we went into one, and I was like panicking the whole time, and as soon as we left, I'm like, I can't do any more of these. So that sucked. We went all the way down there for nothing, but that was my weekend. I got these a lot sooner than I expected. I don't remember when I ordered these, but I don't really know, but here it is. Now I guess I gotta make some calendars. A nice break from my commission. This is how it's going, by the way. Shade. Hope the background isn't too intense. I made a lot of changes in the head, on this side of the head, shoulders this side, the whole background. a little bit of ear reshaping. Please let this be done. I hope this is good. Oh yeah, I need his thing still. This is like the second, well, it's the second day in a row that I've gotten a parcel in the mail, but also the mail carrier has been buzzing people to come get their packages, which is really unusual. Usually they just write the slips and then leave it in the mailbox, and then you have to go pick it up, which is fine. It's not that far, but the fact that he's doing that makes me feel kind of bad for him, because it must mean that they're having a lot of like holiday related policy adjustments probably, and 2 or 3 hours later than he normally delivers, so he must be so busy. Oh geez, they collated it this time. I don't know. I was gonna count how many pieces I ended up with, because sometimes it's like there's an extra one in here, but I guess I gotta take them apart. Woo! All right. Intruder! Intruder! Whoo! You're walking on thin ice there, burb. He's gonna get you. I guess not. Here's something that I did for Patreon. I usually don't go quite all out, but I feel like I'm just at the point where I've been only doing things for the sketchbook, or things for Patreon, or things for gallery shows and stuff that's thematic, and I don't know, like nothing that I'm doing right now has been particularly creative or expressive. So I think I'm just kind of like, I feel like I'm ready to do something for myself. I'm having a day where I'm just really tired and I just kind of want to sleep in. I guess I'm just tired of working on stressful things and filling that sketchbook and like doing flea market, and like all the gallery shows have all just been like Court Cities stuff, which is cool, but it doesn't do much for me. It's just you know, it's just work. I also have to make a YouTube video for tomorrow, but I'm also just kind of like, I'm a little demotivated about YouTube, because it's one thing to make the art for the videos, and it's another thing to think of something to say over the videos, and I haven't really been doing too much to talk about. But part of the demotivation is that there's like so much drama happening on YouTube right now, and I don't really understand why there's so much drama. Everyone is terrified of being sued by the FTC for marking their videos as not child programming, which blows my mind, because it's like, it shouldn't be too hard to determine whether or not you're making videos specifically to target children. So like the fear that they're gonna get sued for marking their videos appropriately and then somebody deciding that they were lying, it just seems kind of dramatic to me. It seems a little hyperbolic. I have seen a video where someone said that they might have to like start swearing every second in their video in order to be able to mark it not made for children, which is kind of just like, well, if you're gonna do that, we might as well just demonetize your channel, because YouTube only monetizes family-friendly content, and family-friendly content is not the same as made-for-kids content. Like, I could be totally wrong about my assumptions in the safety aspect of it, but it still doesn't really scare me that much. Like, looks like he's using my new little flower Tupperware there I made. It looks a little awkward for him, but it's almost time to turn on the heat. I'm a little chilly. Decided to consolidate all of my shipping stuff, and I don't think I should have to suffer with this, so I'm gonna move this over so that I can pick up boxes and not have all my books fall over constantly. It's annoying. I also realized that like this box that I got specifically to hold scrap papers and stuff, I got it because it's nice and sturdy wood, but it's just not big enough. if I do the art show in Vancouver, I'm hoping to get some wall file holders, and so when that's over, I will use those wall folders at home so that I don't have to deal with that anymore. Oh, that's the wrong one. I'm rearranging my space. It doesn't look much more zen than I was hoping. I moved like the lesser used stuff up there. So I got the, that stuff, and blah blah blah. Miscellaneous box. I only kept this cube thing because it's like the perfect place to put the little sketchbooks in. And it looks kind of weird, but I wanted to clear out a bigger space because I keep putting things in progress there. Like I need to keep track of this for a couple of weeks, and my phone goes there. Cat goes there. That's about it. And everything's more or less the same. I'm just trying to clear up. The other thing, first of all, I have this Daniel Smith sheet I don't know what to do with. Painting with this is extraordinarily difficult. It's really just meant for swatching, so I still really kind of want this color. Look at it. Look at it. It's the least common color that you can find in the store. I think I found one store that carries it, but now that I don't have a job, I've been ignoring it. So, one of the people who commissioned me was asking me about my paper, and I don't really have an opinion on paper, which is why I ended up getting this paper sampler. And I intended to make a video about how this went, but so much time has passed that I cannot remember. I do have notes. And so I am going through this and trying to see if there was one that I really liked, because maybe I should buy some. If only for like commissions even, because I'm finding with some of these commissions lately, I've been finishing commissions, sending them for approval, and then getting them back with changes or improvements or like things that require me to fix and rub paint off. And I need a pretty fantastic paper for that to still look good, because as soon as I rub off a color, the sizing is gone and then I can't paint on top of it very easily. Alright, so like I'm looking at all of my things, and I was gonna do a video about that. I guess I still could. It would be so hard. Everyone keeps talking about how Arches is the best one, and the only notes that I have on this is that it's smooth and has literally no other notable experience about it, which to me means that it was pretty much the same experience I had with all my other mid-range cheap papers, so that's not really that great. I mean, it's smooth, right? It's smooth enough. I don't know, maybe. Very absorbent. Warps. Nice. Lots of water. Bleeds. I narrowed it down to 4 that either had decent comments or just seemed interesting. Like, look how much this one warps. Holy crap. It looks cool, but I don't know about that. Extreme warping. Yep, that's for sure. I don't, weirdly enough, there are 2 versions of the same. So it's cold press and rough from the Lanaquarelle, and the cold press and rough of the Saunders. And I decided to try them out, and it turns out that neither of these actually lift at all, which is concerning. I guess it's good for the final painting, because then if it gets splashed with water, nothing bad will happen to it. But the thing is, watercolor paintings are framed, so that's not really a concern. The concern, though, the reason why I kind of wanted to try them is because if I make a mistake, I need something that's going to be able to handle the abuse that I'm doing right now. And it is, but it's not lifting at all. Like same here, nothing there. I did just paint all of these today, so they're all the same. See, this one, it does seem to lift, but it also does make a bit of a pulp when I do it. But I really do need something that's going to lift it all. So we might be looking at this as a possible option. Again, I don't even know if that's like what range that is, or if lifting is even something you can do with fancy paper. Maybe that's something they prevent. I don't know. This says warps some, but it also says great color mixing gradient, and none of the other ones say that. So, I don't know. I'm gonna try that. The last dog commission is finally done. Woo! So now I just have to take it over to a public meeting place and meet with this person. And yeah, not much to be worried about there. But then someone also bought like a much older piece that I had in the shop, but it's much bigger. And honestly, I wasn't sure if anyone was actually going to like that one. It was the Physalis chickadee painting. I thought it was kind of interesting, but it's also a little kind of weird, so it took a while for the right person to see it. But that one's going out as well, and I don't know if it's going to fit in the mailbox, but I feel like I've put something like this in the mailbox before, so we'll see. So I'm having a pretty prosperous day, aren't we, Maggie? Oh, yes. I think I've deserved a coffee drink today. It's so nice outside, except that I've been wanting to... Oh. Garbage truck's coming! Poor Maggie! I really wanted to go mushroom hunting. I don't pick mushrooms, I just like looking at them. Because the last flea market, I got off the bus and there was a huge mushroom at the bus stop, which means we must be like 100% full on mushroom season right now. I wouldn't mind going back to that wild, crazy mushroom forest that we went to last time in Coquitlam. Don't you think, Maggie? Yeah, except it's supposed to rain tomorrow. So, I don't know. It's not for you. I earned this cafe mocha today. Both paintings have been delivered, well, sent out. I met up with the dog commission and it went really well. It was very nice. And I went to get a drink at the Starbucks, and like I'm just like super clumsy and awkward in real life. I was waiting at like the drink bar and I tipped my wallet and all of my nickels just showered all over the floor, and it took like there was a small team of us picking up nickels. I'm just like, they're just nickels. Like, I don't really care that much about nickels, but you saw how large the other painting was, and so I took it to the mailbox and I was holding it up to mailbox. I'm like, yeah, it should fit in here pretty good, except that it's long, and so I put it in the acceptance bin thing. It looked like it was gonna fall, and then I started closing it, and I think it got like caught on a seam in the box or something, because it didn't go down. So I kept going like this, and there was maybe like a centimeter and a half, like half an inch of the thing sticking up in the back. I'm like, oh no! So I wedged it in there by accident, and I could only open it like maybe like 5 inches of a gap, so I had to put my arm in there and try to like reposition it so that it would fall straight down, and thankfully I managed to do it, and it went in, and now it'll probably be this really big awkward envelope sitting on top of their little laundry basket of letters, but it's in there. I didn't actually wedge it, but it was really close. And that would have been just like perfect. It was almost a Homer Simpson's arm stuck in the vending machine situation. You're just poking them. Waiting. Raindrop. What the? It's so weird. It's spiky.
Good.
Ew.
He's floppy.
He's floppy.
Oh, is that the wet, slimy one, but he's dried out?
Ew, yeah, I like those more slimy ones. The little slimies. Come up here. Looks like a snail's head for sure.